I'm joined here by Pacific FC's coach James Merriman. I think we have to start just with where you guys are in the season. You're about halfway through now, a little bit past that, and James, this is your first year as a head coach. So maybe let's just start with where you guys are right now and maybe what you've learned so far from these first couple months.
Yeah, the first few months we've had three, different months. We started very, very well. Obviously, we had a big month in April and kind of came out of the gates flying after what was a lot of moving parts in the preseason and in the off season for us as a club, obviously. And it was a great start, and then some injuries and some adversity and things go against us. So it was a good challenge for me, obviously, as a first year as a head coach of the club and of the program. And we've gone through a lot for the last 4 or 5 weeks, but I think it's part of the journey and part of coming together as a team, a new team with all the new players that have come in, new staff. My assistant Armando saw as well. So we've gone through a lot, but I think we've come out of it tighter than when we started, when we were flying in April. So I think everything happens for a reason, and we've become a team through the journey. But I've learned a lot already in the last 3 months, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'd say so. As you mentioned, there's been highs for this team and there's been lows this year. And obviously there was a lot of changeover with this team, with not just yourself, but all the players that came in. There are some big contributors from that championship squad. But as a coach, a lot of coaches kind of say this, do you maybe learn more when things aren't going your way, things aren't coming as easily?
For sure. Because there was a lot of moving pieces, and then when the things are coming against us, you find out who each other are and how we support each other and what we need to do to come together a little bit stronger as a team. And through some failure and through some adversity, we had big expectations for the Canadian Championship as well, based on our run last season and the match against Toronto, and wanted to try to build this year, and then we go out in the first match. So we were disappointed with that, and the players, it took us a while to come back out of that. So we took a lot, we learned a lot through the adversity, and I feel it is where you learn the most about each other, and now we have our values, we have our things that we're going to come back to all the time and stick to throughout the rest of the season. So I think it was an important part of the season for us.
Speaking of learning, I think there's moments where maybe we from the outside have learned a bit about you as a coach, there's been some brave choices, I think, especially in the last few weeks with changing the lineup, star player Marco Bustos on the bench for a game like that. As a first year head coach, how tough is it to make big calls like that, and just how confident are you in trusting yourself for those?
Yeah, I trust myself, but I also trust that the players know where it's coming from. I only want the best for the players. They know that. And this is a platform for players that have ambition and want to go higher. But we're a team, and players go through form. They fall out of form. They have difficult parts in the season. We're here. We support the players all the time. The players know my door is always open. I have a good relationship with the players. So if I make hard decisions, they know where it's coming from. I also value training. I put a big value on training, on the training environment, the effort that's put on in training. So it's the match performance and the training performance. And we've challenged players. I've challenged players, and I think we're starting to see our team grow through that. And a lot of these new young players as well had been working, and they hadn't had an opportunity. So it's about giving them an opportunity as well. So some difficult decisions, but that's the job.
That is the job, and I'm sure it's easier to challenge maybe the senior players when you've got other guys kind of competing for their spots, right? Like we've spoken about it before, but these guys coming in like Gennaro Daniels and even Cam Habibullah has yet to maybe hit his stride. But when you've got that competition for places, which maybe there hasn't always been at this club, that's got to be helpful. Yeah,
and those guys came in a little bit late too, and it's not easy to come from a totally different environment into our environment where we just won a championship. We had that core group returning. Right. So it took Daniels a little bit longer to kind of find his rhythm and become truly a part of the team, but he's very charismatic. He's got a good energy about him. He's kind of he's always having a good time in the locker room. So he's become part of the team, and he works for the team, so the team works for him. And then DeSantos, I think he's coming in, and you're seeing like a real big potential and somebody with a lot of talent that's now working hard every single day. So he's getting rewarded with playing time in his performances. So those are two players that have come in and really developed over the last 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny especially probably feels like a guy that's got something to prove with this team. You know, he was here last year, maybe didn't have the season he wanted. There's some tough moments at the end of the year with, you know, there's a red card and suspension and stuff. So he's got to be pretty happy to be, you know, making the impact he wants to, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit hard done by two red cards last season. So it's hard to catch rhythm or catch form when that's going against you. But you know, he's always had that kind of spark when he plays, and you know, he's somebody that stands up the crowd. But it's about training as well and learning, you know, the professionalism and every single day what it takes, and he's got that now as well. So the future's bright for him, and we're starting to see a real player develop.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, it seems like this group of players has, you know, a good connection with each other, and that, especially a lot of the players that have been here a while. That obviously goes back a couple of years to when Pa was there with you. But it feels like there's a kind of a swagger about this team when you are playing well, right? A lot of confidence in this group. How have you managed to make sure that that's still there even when things haven't been going your way?
We've always had a good spirit, and I've always said it. The training environment and our belief in ourselves and our confidence, what we can do when everything's, you know, everyone's going in the same direction. That's never dipped. We have challenged each other. The players have challenged me. The players have challenged each other through that difficult period and that adversity. But it doesn't change what we still think and know that we're capable of doing when everybody's together and once we do hit our stride and find our form, which I believe is coming. So I think we're a dangerous team, and we know that, and we have confidence in that. It's just a matter of putting a run of games together and finding our consistency, which is something that we still haven't done yet since, you know, the month of April. But it'll come. It'll come.
Absolutely. And you know, as the champions, obviously, of this league, you know, speaking to players in preseason and stuff like that, they've all kind of had this sense that you want to be seen as the team to beat in this league, right? You kind of embrace that challenge, that mantle of being, you know, having a target on your back. So when you have moments where, you know, you do get, for lack of a better term, punched in the face, like when you lose to Halifax at home, are those moments that kind of light a fire in this team and maybe can be seen a few months from now as a turning point in this season? Yeah,
that match lit a fire in me, in the players, in everyone. It wasn't good enough. It's not good enough to lose a game like that in front of our home fans and in front of our crowd, and we let ourselves down. And we stopped running, we stopped playing, and you know, that's what the fans are there for. They're there to see us give maximum effort, full effort. If we lose, we lose. Okay, a team beats us, but not the way that that game went. So, you know, we hope that it's a turning point. It definitely was in when we looked at each other and looked in the mirror after that match, and we came back to work, and we've been working every day since to correct it. You know, and sometimes maybe you need that, you know, you need those moments to figure out who you truly are as a team, who we're going to be this season. Yeah, we won a championship and we came in as the champions and everybody's coming for us and we started like this, but then to your point, you know, you get hit like that, okay, now how do you respond? So yeah, I think we're in a good place. It's just about finding consistency and building our confidence now, you know, building our confidence in matches.